Tonight is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk Counties, Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Nassau County Police say a 16-year-old driver in Floral Park struck and killed a 9-year-old boy on his bicycle. Police say the teenage motorist, who was driving with a learner's permit, drove up on the sidewalk last night on Martha Terrace while making a turn and hit the boy and his mother, then traveled another 100 feet before stopping. The little boy has been identified as 9-year-old Andrew Burrows. He was killed and his mother treated for injuries. Newsday reports that local police suggest the driver may have hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. Police reported no charges filed against the 16-year-old driver, who was not injured. Well, members of the military are often called on to put their lives on the line to help protect our freedom. And Nassau County will be paying tribute to those men and women of the armed forces all next week, as Robert Marzano reports.
This World War II veteran who served in the Pacific and Guadalcanal says for 40 years he's been responsible for the caretaking and construction of the memorials here at Eisenhower Park in East Meadow. And he was there when the county announced Armed Forces Week will be celebrated all next week. Pat Cassetta says the county is doing a great thing.
And it's an honor to have people honor Armed Forces Day. It was wonderful. It's wonderful to have that happen.
The timing of this year's event is particularly fitting as we continue to marvel at the Navy SEALs raid that ended in the killing of the terrorist Osama bin Laden. It's just a wonderful, respectful way to show and honor our veterans.
Nassau County is taking the time to honor those currently serving in the military as well as veterans. And Mangano says it's time for us to recognize the sacrifices they've made.
Freedom is not free. We would not enjoy the freedom of speech, the freedom to assemble, things that too often we take for granted without the self-sacrifice of our military, especially our Marines here that are joining with us, our Navy personnel that will be joining with us on the weekend. It's an opportunity to say thank you directly to them.
Although Armed Forces Week only officially lasts 7 days, many people who we spoke with today feel that those who have served our country should be honored every day.
We're here to honor you and do all that we can to make certain that we honor your service, we honor the freedoms that you provided us.
Extraordinarily proud to follow in their footsteps, and thank you very much, because what we have, we owe you. So thank you.
In East Meadow, Robert Marzano, LI News Tonight.
If you're planning on getting rid of an old gas grill, the advice is go green and recycle it. Elsa Gillis spoke with some experts about the best steps to take to safely dispose of your old barbecue grill.
It's that time of year again when many of you may be rolling out your barbecues to start grilling. But if you suddenly realize it's time to purchase a new one, Gershow Recycling of Long Island says it's important to remember to recycle your old grill.
You know what? You're doing something good by bringing that barbecue in, recycling it properly. It gets processed at facilities like our own here. The product, after it's processed, gets sold to an aluminum foundry or a steel smelter, companies of that sort. And then basically from there, it's turned into a new barbecue, or possibly a wire coat hanger, or an I-beam.
Abrams says almost every part of the gas grill can be recycled, and he says it's important to take the necessary steps to do so properly.
Contact your local propane fuel supply company. Take the propane bottle that's contained within the barbecue, call them up and find out what the guidelines are to get that tank discharged. Nobody wants to get hurt. It does contain a fuel in it, and it needs to be handled just as such.
According to Gershow, the tanks must be fully emptied and cleaned before recycled. And the company reminds us that any leftover charcoal bricks should be burned off, and the cooled ashes need to be disposed of in a non-combustible container. Not taking the proper steps could result in a fire, serious injury, or even death. But when done responsibly,
Anybody can recycle a barbecue grill. Anybody.
in Huntington, Elsa Gillis, LI News Tonight.
A young girl whose brothers learned how to horseback ride at an equestrian center that works with people with disabilities raised $2,500 for those stables as a way to say thank you. Charles Perry has more.
While we all think of horseback riding as recreational, it can be therapeutic as well. Here at Palomine Equestrian Center in Islandia, 15 horses are trained to work with riders with special needs. The center says the horses help build self-confidence and emotional growth in those with various disabilities, like the brothers of 6th grader Elena Massimo, who are students at Palomine. Elena says she saw the impact the program had on her two brothers who have autism. So she and some classmates held a fundraiser to support the program. By the sale of these bracelets, they were able to donate a check for more than $2,500 to the center.
We couldn't have been able to do this without my teacher and the classmates and the rest of the 6th grade.
Her to get involved and for her to do something like this for her brothers, I mean, it's just so touching, and the bond that the three of them have together is just phenomenal.
The executive director of the Equestrian Center explains what changes she sees in riders.
The growth in their independence and their fostering their self-esteem is what we see probably the most.
And Elena told us about the growth she sees in her brothers.
Well, now they're more active and verbal, and they know how to act like in front of people. They behave better.
Horses like Skippy serve as great teachers and life lessons in self-confidence for those with different abilities.
Horses really do facilitate that emotional growth and healing and learning.
In Islandia, Charles Perry, LI News Tonight.
It was a down day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day down 100 points. NASDAQ was down 35.5 points, and the S&P was down just under 11 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
Here, three memoir authors share their stories at Three Short Women, Three Tall Tales at the Northport Public Library on Thursday, May 19th at 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-261-6930. There are two freshwater fishing clinics for junior anglers at Caleb Smith State Park Preserve in Smithtown on Saturday, May 21st. One is at 9 a.m., the other at 1 p.m. To reserve a spot, call 631-265-1054. Spend a little time at home with Ginger Rogers, a theatrical tribute and high tea at the Ward Melville Heritage Organization in Stony Brook on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. and Sundays at 12:30 p.m. through June 12th. No show on Memorial Day weekend. Advance reservations are required. For more information, call 631-689-5888 or check out Spies, How Long Island Patriots Helped George Washington Win the Revolution. It's an interactive exhibit at the Three Village Historical Society in Setauket on Sundays in June from 1 till 4 p.m. For more information, call 631-751-3730. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
Well, it looks like fun, building a robot that can perform a specific task in competition. But it's also serious business because the end product of these robots could help make life easier for people in developing countries. Venusa Laveau reports.
These engineering students are showing off their talents for building robots that can retrieve water at this creative contraptions competition at the New York Institute of Technology in Old Westbury.
So we decided to make a contraption that's able to collect water efficiently, that's energy efficient, time efficient, and just gets the job done, just to make it easier.
The aim of the competition was for each robot to retrieve as much water as possible before the buzzer. Some teams succeeded during the first round, however others had to try a little harder.
Our bot didn't perform as well as we would have anticipated. Our trials that we did last night and the previous weeks before the competition worked well, but unfortunately we're running into a few programming errors as well as a deployment system error.
These impressive robots take months to build, and the goal is to bring awareness about the water crisis in underdeveloped countries.
The societal impact of this design will mean that any girl anywhere doesn't have to go and carry water for her family, and she can now afford to be in a school along with the boys.
And the result?
The end product is a robot that will help anyone get water from a distance to the destination that they want it to be.
I just want to design things, create things, be part of a community, just make the world more efficient, safer, just inspire other engineers.
In Old Westbury, Vanessa Laveau, LI News Tonight.
Move over Tribeca. The Great Neck Arts Center says it's hoping its Gold Coast Film Festival is as successful as its more famous counterpart in New York City. And as Jody Goldberg reports, organizers hope the 43 feature films and 20 shorts will attract tens of thousands of film enthusiasts to Long Island's North Shore.
This is about the Gold Coast, and this is about a vision.
The inaugural Gold Coast International Film Festival will be taking center stage next month on the North Shore.
It was one of the most magical times ever.
Those were the party days. Chili peppers, Jane's Addiction, and Fishbone.
There were drugs everywhere in LA in the 1980s.
Historically, the Gold Coast has been home to movie stars, directors, and producers. Charlie Chaplin, Groucho Marx, Natalie Portman, and a whole host of others in the entertainment world. Organizers say it's not just about bringing people in from the area, it's about bringing people from all around to celebrate the industry, local, national, and internationally, right here on the North Shore.
And I stress the word international because we are going to support our local filmmakers, but we're also bringing the whole world to our town. We're bringing the whole world to our region and to the Gold Coast.
We're here talking about art and culture and community. We're here talking about how we utilize culture and art for economic development.
Organizers say they hope to fill nearly 40,000 seats for more than 60 films in several Clearview theaters from June 1st to 5th. Gill says this celebration is a long time coming and it's North Shore's chance to take the spotlight.
The suburbs get a bad rap. It's time for us to show them what we're all about.
In Port Washington, Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
An elderly pedestrian was killed while trying to cross a street in Plainview. Nassau County Police say a motorist was making a turn from Stratford Road onto Woodbury Road when the vehicle hit an 85-year-old woman who suffered head trauma and was pronounced dead a short time later at a nearby hospital. Police say no charges were filed against that driver. After some sun this morning, skies turned cloudy early this afternoon, but we saw some sun later in the afternoon again. The high was in the upper 60s. Tonight should be cloudy with a low in the low 50s. Tomorrow, chance of showers by evening, high in the mid 60s. Sunday, thunder showers expected, high in the upper 60s. Monday, scattered thunderstorms, high around 70. And the outlook for Tuesday, scattered thunderstorms, a high in the upper 60s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a good weekend.